Chapter 1. The Material Trap and the Sovereign Exit. Modern planetary wealth and sovereign legal structures are built upon a fragile material illusion. Every real estate asset, precious metal reserve, and physical currency vault depends on geographical stability. They remain bound to the heavy, unyielding topsoil of fading national jurisdictions and state militaries. If a global financial collapse or executive asset seizure order triggers a systemic wealth sweep tomorrow, your physical inheritance is instantly frozen within the state's material net, trapped by its location. The public assumes that the physical weight of assets provides permanent safety from political storms, guaranteed indefinitely by domestic property laws and international legal frameworks on the surface. But behind heavily classified simulation centers, the 0.1% see an absolute structural trap. They see a world where material possessions are the easiest targets for aggressive tax confiscations. They realize that anchoring empire-level capital to standard matter means sharing the inevitable public ruin. The hyper-elite refuse to allow their generational sovereignty to be pinned down by territorial courts. They are actively engineering their absolute departure from standard atomic restrictions and national boundaries. By constructing private autonomous enclaves that manipulate the very definition of physical weight and substance. These extreme points in isolated space offer absolute detachment from Earth-bound kinetic interventions, creating a permanent cosmic inheritance sanctuary that requires no planet-bound security forces to exist. This is the birth of the Higgs Field Mass-Modulation Secession, the ultimate liberation of matter, where subatomic quantum mechanics is transformed into an exclusive, dynastic governance asset class. Those who control the fundamental mechanisms of mass dictate the rules of cosmic continuity. The horizontal constraints of global physical boundaries are being rendered completely meaningless, replaced by an unyielding vertical matrix operating entirely outside international gravitational laws. The escape of absolute capital is invisible, total, and physically unreachable by default. Chapter 2. The Quantum Architecture of Higgs Modulator Arrays. To maintain a permanent sovereign civilization, the sanctuary demands absolute physical invulnerability. An unyielding structural shell capable of deflecting planetary warfare across thousands of generations. Traditional titanium plating and kinetic shielding grids are dismissed by the elite as obsolete materials. They are highly vulnerable to advanced antimatter weapons and sustained state-level orbital bombardments. To eliminate this vulnerability, the enclave utilizes private hyper-advanced Higgs field modulation arrays. These gargantuan rings are engineered across kilometers of dark graphene and polished titanium, surrounding the entire sanctuary to constantly alter the local vacuum expectation value of particles, directly lowering or raising the mass of the habitat's structural atoms through automated algorithms. Specialized localized phase-locking compensation cores maintain perfect internal structural stability during galactic shifts, ensuring that the internal gravity and atmospheric pressure of the dynamic habitat remain uninterrupted. Thick multi-layered carbon fiber hulls utilize quantum metric engineering to insulate the delicate reactors, preventing hardware degradation associated with intense, localized fluctuations in subatomic particle drag. The infrastructure inside these private sovereign domes is continuously managed by neural networks. Every single terabit of structural data and field density is balanced by artificial intelligence. When surface nations descend into kinetic wars and desperate resource-driven orbital conflicts below, these private relativistic fortresses remain completely unaffected by the physical momentum of missiles. By establishing total authority over their own mass, the elite eliminate external threats. The private Higgs modulation network becomes the ultimate vessel for absolute institutional permanence, sustaining human financial records and immutable ledger databases through endless planetary cycles. Chapter 3. The Intangible Sovereign Ledger and Mass-less Cryptography. Physical security in the deep void is incomplete without complete computational autonomy. A trustless digital coordination framework programmed to protect the empire without human bureaucracy. Traditional silicon servers and terrestrial quantum nodes are highly vulnerable to physical hardware raids. They cannot be relied upon to safeguard a dynasty's operational keys across catastrophic global conflicts. To eliminate this risk, the secession utilizes completely autonomous mass-less cryptographic processing fields. Decentralized subatomic computer networks execute continuous, immutable smart contracts within light-speed particles. These algorithms are hard-coded with zero-mass protocols to transfer wealth across immense cosmic distances, automatically routing dark assets and executing global trades on Earth through uninterceptable quantum states. The private digital wealth is shielded behind unbreakable, metric-resistant Higgs phase encryption keys. No terrestrial government, central bank, or regulatory agency can ever trace or freeze these codes. The subatomic processing platform autonomously coordinates private defensive kinetic defense networks, deploying automated interceptor vessels to neutralize any unauthorized deep space corporate reconnaissance drones. Every operational cost and structural maintenance fee is cleared through private zero-mass wallets, operating entirely outside the jurisdiction of earthly, financial intelligence units and central banking grids. The entire technological infrastructure becomes an immortal, self-defending, timeless informational fortress. An artificial intelligence matrix designed to maintain the data purity of absolute masters, securing the legacy of the elite against the constant systemic decay of surface civilizations. Chapter 4: The Automated Closed Loop and Subatomic Self-Sufficiency. To achieve total isolation, the enclave requires complete material and energetic self-reliance. The automated production of high-density processing power and pristine structural components within holes. Yet industrial manufacturing chains on Earth are deeply vulnerable to political resource nationalism. They are highly susceptible to regional rare earth embargoes and state-controlled shipping restrictions. To eliminate this structural vulnerability, the elite build automated asteroid capture fabrication loops. These rotating facilities utilize molecular manufacturing calibrated to print hyper-dense computing architectures, delivering optimal processing nodes directly to the sanctuary's mainframe through automated quantum systems, powered continuously by the habitat's central collectors and localized micro-singularity batteries. Autonomous robotic arms and subatomic sensors manage the entire fabrication cycle without human presence, harvesting raw space minerals and pure carbon matrices under completely automated conditions. Energy is harvested from nearby vacuum fluctuations and filtered through advanced field barriers. This ultra-pure power is stored in titanium cells layered with protective electromagnetic shields, ensuring that the private sanctuary remains completely independent of Earth's depleted resource pools. No industrial collapses or infrastructure failures on the surface can touch this network. This is not an experimental laboratory built for public scientific advancement or academic education. It is a highly calculated monopoly on automated, sovereign informational self-preservation. By decoupling entirely from the terrestrial material biosphere, absolute capital achieves absolute immortality, protecting the financial coordination of the 0.1% from baseline political decay. Chapter 5: The Post-Atomic Era and the Mass-Modulated Divide. The completion of the private sanctuary establishes the final, permanent division of the human species. A barrier built not merely on economic capital, but on the fundamental laws of reality. The general public is condemned to remain on the monitored, decaying terrestrial surface, trapped within an energy-starved world ruled by aggressive state surveillance and material confiscations, while the 0.1% secure their bloodlines inside a mass-modulated fortress, completely immune to the gravity of planetary revolutions and the authoritarian collapse of nations. They have successfully decoupled from the shared material destiny of the human species. The political and philosophical implications of this Higgs field divide are absolute. When absolute wealth owns its own definition of weight, physical inertia, and defensive arrays. Power is no longer temporary, and capital is no longer subject to state-level confiscation. The elite no longer require a cooperative public society to protect their dynastic continuity. The exit gateways of these mass-modulated fortresses are already operating completely silently. Their exact space-time coordinates are highly classified and defended by unbribable automated networks. The age of the public internet and linear planetary governance is rapidly closing, replaced by an unyielding cosmic matrix of private empires operating at the edge of physics. Subscribe to future Prism Lab for the hidden thermodynamic mechanics of wealth.